Whoever picks up this coin gets to live. Now, which of you magnificent bastards wants to join me?
Anyone wants that coin, pledge allegiance to Klaus. Take it now. Go ahead. The choice is yours. Take him.
What is good, y'all? We are back with another video. And in this video, I want to talk about one of my favorite shows of all time, The Originals. And I'm pretty sure I've talked about this show like in my YouTube shorts or my Instagram reels, TikToks, Facebook reels, stuff like that. I've spoken about it, a little bit, but not really in detail. And I'm sure that a lot of you who might be viewing this or hearing me talk about this show for the first time, you guys will be very much intrigued, like this is a very good show. And I'm one of those people. I don't really recommend a lot of shows. I don't really recommend a lot of stuff, So when I do that and I do go out of my way to talk about certain shows and certain stuff, it's because I'm passionate about it. And I'm sure that it will resonate with a lot of people. This show is called The Originals. Now, if you've watched The Vampire Diaries, you've probably heard of this show. It is a spin-off of The Vampire Diaries. In my humble opinion, The Originals is a better show than The Vampire Diaries, mainly because I believe it has better characters that I find to be more intriguing than The Vampire Diaries. Now, don't get me wrong. You should watch The Vampire Diaries too. I think it's a very, very good show. Still think The Originals is better though. Some people would disagree with me on that, but both shows are very good. I just think The Originals has better characters. It's just far more interesting to me, and the stakes are even higher in this show. Now, if you're not aware of the Vampire Diaries universe, you don't know about it, I'll give you guys some backstory, right? It's pretty much a supernatural world. There are vampires, there are werewolves, there are witches, and, to kind of give you guys some backstory that will lead into The Originals, these vampires are immortal, right? And the only way they can really be killed is by a wooden stake, right? Or a stake. That's for the majority of vampires, right? But there are a special group of vampires called the Originals. And this was the first family of vampires ever created. Now, they are damn near immortal, like literally immortal, like unless you have like a specific stake. I don't remember like the specific details, but there's a specific type of wood that you need to dagger inside their heart to kill them. Otherwise, you just kind of kill them temporarily and they'll wake back up within a matter of a few hours, few days, whatever it may be. But this family was so intriguing to me because when you watch a show like this and you hear about an original family, you want to know all the details about where they came from, how they were originated, what makes them so powerful. Keep in mind, the original family, they're thousands of years old, like thousands of years old, right? Much older than like the other vampires who might be like 100, couple hundred years old. Like they are thousands of years old. And one of the main characters in the Originals is the first hybrid, pretty much like the only hybrid. He's a vampire and a werewolf, so he's pretty much the most powerful character in the series. His name is Klaus, and the show pretty much revolves around him in the Originals and his family. Now, they do make some appearances in the Vampire Diaries, which is centered around some other characters that I don't want to dive too deep into because it's just going to be too much. You would have to watch that show to kind of comprehend that. But they do show up in the Vampire Diaries, and they do wreak havoc, and they make their presence be known that they are the original family. They are the most powerful. Obviously, they transition out of that show into their own spin-off called The Originals, and I believe this show takes place in like New Orleans, and that's where their home was. That's where they kind of grew up. They returned to New Orleans, and they're pretty much trying to take back control of their city because one of the vampires that they created, or they call it sired, runs that city now. His name is Marcel. So Marcel is running that city, and they come in and it's a culture shock for them because they ran New Orleans, they built New Orleans, They were the ones who were kind of there first. And when they left, everything was kind of, in their control, in their power. Now they return to find out Marcel is in power, and Marcel was kind of like family to them. So, there's this kind of back and forth. Klaus and his family are trying to take over the city again. Marcel's kind of pushing back because he doesn't like it. And Klaus pretty much finds out that, a woman that he was messing with, who was also a wolf, is pregnant. And, it starts this whole conspiracy thing because vampires are not supposed to be able to reproduce, right? It's supposed to be impossible. And the witches are pretty much trying to tell Klaus, like, yeah, you got a kid on the way. And, Klaus is a very Ghost-like character. Like, he's not trying to hear that shit. Like, if you think Ghost was evil and fucked up, Klaus puts that shit, he takes that shit to a whole nother level. It's like times 100. And he's a phenomenal actor too, by the way. Shout out Joseph Morgan. The whole cast is great. But yeah, so this show pretty much kind of dives into Klaus's family, and Klaus having his child and them kind of navigating life in New Orleans. It's about 5 seasons for the show, and it is phenomenal. Every single season of this show hits hard. The performances are never lacking. It's just such a great show. And it's a show that, like, I really wish I'd never seen it. Like, you ever have a TV show that you wish you'd never seen, that you could like rewatch from the beginning without any knowledge of what you've seen before? This is one of those shows that I put up there with Power, Game of Thrones, like all of them show. Like, it was that good, and the storytelling was so good too. The acting, like, they didn't rush the show, and they got 5 seasons in, which I always say is the sweet spot for a show. And they did their thing, man. It was such a good show. I really, really enjoyed it. And I think you guys would enjoy this show. Like, if you're a fan of Power, and obviously we're in the Power off season right now, people are tripping over fucking BMF and shit like that, watching that shit. I still haven't watched the new episode, but I do mean to today. This is a show that you'll really enjoy, and you don't need to watch the Vampire Diaries prior to engage with the show to watch this show. You don't need any backstory. You can dive right in and watch this show, and if you like the show and you like the whole kind of vampire, werewolf, supernatural universe, then you can kind of circle back and watch the Vampire Diaries. One of my guys who I did the podcast with is Just B. He's a huge fan of the whole Vampire Diary universe. We had some conversations about it in one of our earlier podcasts, and he's a huge fan of this show, as am I. I'm super passionate about this show. I'm actually thinking about doing a rewatch of this show and maybe doing some content about it, trying to see what the algorithm is like for that show, and how many people really rock with it. But it was such a great show, and I truly recommend you guys, if you're looking for a TV show to watch, you're looking for a show to tap into, I highly recommend The Originals. This show was phenomenal. The acting, the storytelling, even the music, like all the stuff that you want in a really good TV show, this show had, and the quality was very high too. It was phenomenal. That's really what I wanted to make this video about. And I'm also trying to be consistent and diverse with the content, and give you guys stuff outside of Power, because it gets old talking about Power when this shit not even on. You know what I mean? But the YouTube algorithm be playing with me for some reason when I don't talk about Power. It doesn't get as many views or engagement. But at this point, I don't give a fuck. No, like, I'm going to talk about what the fuck I want to talk about, and there's plenty of other things outside of Power, like The Originals, that I'm very passionate about. So, what I'm saying, if you're a fan of me and my content, and you respect my recommendations or my acumen when it comes to TV and film, this is a show I promise you, if you really give it a chance, you will enjoy it. I'm going to keep doing videos like this, recommending you shows, kind of breaking them down and giving you guys like the outline of what you can expect when you watch it, and not spoiling it. And stay tuned for the next one. I'll catch you guys on the next one.